The world is borrowing, and nobody seems to notice. Not the small, everyday borrowing you do. I mean governments, trillions of dollars every year, and somehow it's always manageable. But here's the twist. What if I told you the way government debt works isn't what you think? That the numbers you see in headlines, $31 trillion here, $2 trillion there, are only part of the story. That there's a hidden game happening behind closed doors, and it's playing with everyone's future. Let's start with the basics. Governments spend money they don't have. Roads, schools, military, social programs, they all need cash. So they borrow. They issue bonds. Investors, banks, even other countries buy them. The promise is simple. We'll pay you back with interest. Simple, right? But the mechanics beneath are far from simple. Here's where it gets interesting. Governments don't just borrow for what they need, they borrow for what the market allows. Interest rates, inflation expectations, political pressures, all these shape how much debt is issued and at what cost. Sometimes debt isn't just a tool, it becomes a weapon, a lever, a machine that reshapes economies. Take the United States, for example. The national debt is over $31 trillion, but the government only pays around $700 billion a year in interest. That's 2% of the total. Sounds manageable until you realize if interest rates rise just a few points, that manageable number explodes. Suddenly, debt servicing alone can consume the entire federal budget. Schools, hospitals, infrastructure, gone. And yet, the headlines rarely panic because there's another hidden layer: debt recycling. Governments borrow, then the central bank buys those bonds. The money flows back into the system. It keeps interest rates low. It keeps borrowing affordable. It keeps the economy appearing stable. But it's a trick, a magician's sleight of hand. Look close enough and you see the illusion. Debt isn't just a liability, it's also an instrument to maintain power, influence markets, and sometimes quietly redistribute wealth. The more you owe, the more control creditors have. The more the system relies on constant borrowing, the harder it becomes to break free without disruption. The irony, while we worry about deficits and taxes, the real story is rarely about overspending. It's about timing, leverage, and hidden dependencies. The system can look healthy for decades, and then, suddenly, a small shift in rates or investor confidence can spark a cascade nobody predicted. And that's the uncomfortable truth. Government debt isn't just numbers on a page. It's a living, breathing mechanism, one that influences your life in invisible ways. The roads you drive on, the jobs available, the cost of housing, even the stability of the currency in your wallet, all subtly shaped by this unseen game. So, next time you hear a politician say the debt is under control, ask yourself, controlled by whom and at what cost? Because the biggest secret about government debt isn't that it exists, it's that it never truly disappears. It moves, it hides, it shapes the world quietly, until one day it doesn't. And then, when the illusion finally cracks, the real question isn't who owes what, but who will pay.